to this computer. Okay. So, all right. So you went to Mosley, which is an online course, right?
Yes.
And then when was that? When did you go to your online course?
Um, so I started, I believe in 2022, I believe. And then did a chunk of it and then actually
Mhm.
put it on hold to do my last year dancing with the company I was with because we had um, a season off because of COVID.
Oh
And
yeah.
then
Hmm.
we didn't know if they were going to restart. They decided after I had started the course to restart. Luckily, I was rehired. So I was like, I know this is my last year. I'm going to focus on this and enjoy it. And then as soon as I'm done, finish the real estate course. So, yeah, I think I finished it also in 2022.
Okay. So you finished um the course, then you went back to dancing? Is that what you just said?
So
Or
I did part of the course and then I
okay.
did the season of dancing.
Oh, okay.
And then right after the season finished, I finished
Yes.
the course or I took,
Oh, okay.
but
All
I
right.
think it
So
took like
sorry.
3, 4 months. Yeah.
All right. So what really motivated you to get into real estate? Because after dance, you had the world in front of you, right? So why real estate?
Yeah, so I knew really very little about real estate. I don't have any like family in real estate. It is like a very new venture for, I just don't have it
Mhm.
in my background at all. But one thing that I had heard about it and the impression I was under is that it was something that you had to be very like self-motivated to do, which I
Yes.
thought was I loved that because that is like the thing I knew best from ballet. You have to just like you have to motivate yourself. Like no one's gonna, hold you accountable and, every day do your exercises, do your rehearsing, make sure you know everything. And a lot of it is working alone, but also if you're like in the core, as a team. So I felt like I had experience both if I wanted to do the team route or work alone and just the
Mhm. Mhm.
self-motivation and kind of the grind. I felt like I think this might be a good fit for me.
Okay. So after dance, you got into real estate. You thought that it was a perfect fit because dance is kind of like, in my mind, it's kind of like the military, but opposite, right? The
Mhm.
military is very structured and they tell you where to be, when to be, right?
Mhm.
And dance, they just say, if you want to do this, be the best you can be, right?
Yeah, that's exactly
So,
right.
but in the military, it's more of we will teach you to be the best that you can be, right? But
Mhm.
at the same time, you have to be very disciplined in both structures, right?
Mhm.
Structured and unstructured. There's still discipline in both of those worlds, right? So I
Yep.
love that you came from the self disciplined, self motivated world, right? You didn't need a lot of people telling you where to be, when to be, and how to be, right?
Mhm.
You just knew that this was your passion. And if anybody's going to make it happen, it was you, right? And so that kind of equates to real estate, right?
Yeah, that's the feeling I had, and I was like, I think I can make this work. And so yes, you're spot on. They like in ballet, they give you the tools exactly what you need. They teach you, but they can't do it for you. You have to do it, or else
Uh,
then you either advance or you don't. Kind
right,
of. And it obviously talent is part of the equation, but a lot of times people with very little talent are the most successful because they work the hardest. So, um, yeah.
right. So, yeah, I love to hear that it doesn't always take the smartest and it doesn't always take the most talented. It takes the person who has the most grit, right? The
Exactly. Who works the hardest?
right, yeah. Okay. So, you are now in real estate, right?
Mhm.
And for your first year, tell me a little bit about what your first year in real estate was like.
Yeah, so the first year I obviously joined KW. I was part of the productivity coaching. I did Ignite. Um, I just tried to learn as much as possible because there was just like resources everywhere, like from what they provided me with, like from the
Hmm.
start at KW. So I almost had was that was if anything overwhelming 'cause I had so much at
So,
my fingertips. So yeah, it was just more learning how to put all of that into action and learning from agents who are more experienced, but also the newer agents too. Like, I liked that a whole lot, like being around new agents along with the seasoned ones, because I feel like you can learn from both.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like not turning down any opportunity. I just wanted to do whatever came my way and whatever I could possibly get. No time was wasted. I was like, I just want experience. I want to be hands-on. I want to do everything I can. So, and learn everything I can. So that's how I would sum it up.
And you know what? You're being very, very modest, Abigail, because I know you were rookie of the year.
That okay, so that's one thing that I will say I really really liked that KW did because I was very fixated on that. Like I learned what that was and I was like, ooh, I really want to try to get that. So like
Okay.
I didn't know what it was at first, or I didn't know it existed, but then once I heard of it, I was like, oh, that's a
Oh, that's
great
going to
goal.
be me.
Yeah,
Yes.
really, I didn't, expect anything, but I was like, I want to try my hardest to get that. So yes, that was awesome. I was so happy to get that.
Okay. So how many sales did you do? I know that you did a ton of rentals as a
Mhm.
new agent, right? So is that how you
Yeah.
got your feet wet, was on the rentals? And then did you go straight from there into the like sales and listings? How many how many units did you sell your first year? Do you remember?
I think it was 4 sales. Um, it was something like 70 rentals though.
Ooh,
So I
yeah.
was like, I mean, I was thrilled to even get 4 sales. I was like, this is great. But I was also thrilled at the income from the rentals too, because I pretty much capped on rentals. And so yeah, I think that was a great way to get practice talking to people, doing showings,
Hmm.
um, making contacts. And then the following year, the sales grew what I thought was significantly. I was happy about the how they, increased. And yeah, I think it's just from like not turning down any opportunity. Like really any meeting anyone can connect you
Hmm.
with an
Right.
opportunity. So
Right. Wow. 70 rentals in that first year and capping. Capping on
yeah,
rentals is an anomaly. So no wonder you were rookie of the year. I mean, that's amazing.
a lot of
Amazing.
rentals.
That's a lot of rentals. But
Yeah.
my next question is to you, did any of those renters convert into buyers for you that next year?
Most of the sales I did the next year were those renters. Or referrals from renters that were buyers and sellers. Um, so yes, a whole lot of them, which was
Okay.
really nice. And yeah, I think it also goes back to like I would never turn down an opportunity because
Mm-hmm.
it can lead you to other opportunities. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Positively. And I think that some agents might turn away rentals because, especially new agents, because they really want that sale, right?
Mhm.
But you learn so much from a rental. You learn
Yes.
how everything from opening doors, scheduling, multiple showings to, setting the expectations to the client, right?
Mhm.
So much you learn from a rental. And then look at
Yeah.
you. That next year, how many units did you have that next year?
I think it was like 14 sales the second year.
Wow, any listings that second
Yes.
year?
Yes, the second year I think I had like three listings, but mainly a big pool of buyers.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so, how many years has it been for you now in a total?
So as of the end of October, it will be completing year three. So I've been doing it like 2 years and like what, 11 months or 10
So
months or
not
something
even,
like
yeah,
that.
so not even three. That's amazing.
Not even
So
three. Right.
circling back to when you actually got your Rookie of the Year,
Mhm.
right? That recognition is huge. We have over 800 agents in our Metro Center, and you got Rookie of the Year. So can you just describe to me a little bit about what that recognition meant to you?
That meant so much. That was like, I was so excited about that
Hmm.
because, yeah, I think it was a lot about just working hard and kind of taking the advice of, I mean, they give you so many tools, and so many opportunities, not just to, like we're saying, go and do a showing or go do a rental, but to learn. So, yeah, it just meant so much to feel like I put in the work and hopefully this is a sign that it's been, recognized. And that was just, it was, oh my gosh, I was so excited.
Oh yeah, you gave me goosebumps, literal goosebumps just
Oh,
now. Yeah, I'm so just so proud of you and watching you grow and Abigail, you are now in the top 20% of our office.
which is
So I
really bad.
mean, that is that is in itself not even 3 years, right? You're in the top 20%. And like I said, we have over 800 agents. So you're out there killing it every single day, right? I know that leaves you very little time for your personal life, but you make it work, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. So there's one final question I wanted to ask you, right? So
Mhm.
actually two. So
Okay.
what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced? So we've talked a lot about your recognitions and, the opportunities that you were given, but what were some of the challenges that you faced?
hmm I think the first year it was like I felt like there were quite a few different paths you could take to like lead generate. And it was like, where are my leads going to come from? I had to kind of figure that out, like what worked for me, what felt natural. You know, am I going to concentrate on cold calling? Am I going to concentrate on door knocking, on open houses? So that I think was a challenge that I feel like I got a handle on pretty quickly, but it was something I gave a lot of thought to because, as a new agent, like some people are probably not even local, so maybe they just moved here and they have
Yeah.
to start a whole network from scratch. So I would say that was a challenge. But I tried everything and kind of went with what I felt was the most natural and the most effective.
Okay. So trial and error, right?
Yeah,
So,
just I mean, following the advice of like the PC coaches and just trying everything, hearing other agents what worked for them. Um, I think that was not only did the PC coaching, obviously it was very helpful with the education it gave, but and Ignite too. But hearing, being able to speak up and like talk a little bit and hear the other agents, that was very helpful to hear, this went really well, or I didn't enjoy doing this, and here's why, or that was really helpful.
right. So, aside from the productivity coaching for new agents, right? And Ignite, which is really designed for new agents or even agents who need to ignite their business again, right? Sometimes
Mhm.
we get in a rut. So sometimes we need to be ignited, right? So aside from all of that, I mean, I like to think of our office as like a mini university because we have so much training, right? Um, what, besides those two things, what did you find the most helpful as a new agent?
Mhm. Um, I what did I find most helpful as a new agent? So I think I would mention again the fact that it's not like an environment with only new agents or only experienced agents. I really, really I liked and like the fact that it's like the whole spectrum.
Right.
Um there and yeah, there's just a whole lot of different levels of experience.
Hmm.
So it's just kind of like this community where you can make these connections with agents and call them up. And I feel like it's almost as useful talking to an experienced agent as a newer agent because if they're going through, the same thing as you, and again, what worked for them, what didn't work for them. Um, and the fact that it's so, I like that there are a lot of agents because you have your choice. If someone's busy, you can't talk to them at that moment, you have someone else you can talk to.
Hmm.
Um, I like that a whole lot as well. Like it's just a large pool of resources. I think of
Hmm.
agents as resources. So,
Great. So
yeah.
what I hear you saying is that the culture and the collaboration is what really, really helped you out. And hopefully you're still enjoying it, right?
Oh
The
yeah,
culture and the
yeah, absolutely.
collaboration. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Yes.
Yes. Of course. Yeah. Yes, I mean, my brother just joined.
Yes.
So
Josh.
he's yep, yep.
Yes.
So and I told him all about that because it's just it's a great place. And yes, very much I'm still enjoying it. And it's still like as useful and helpful to me at this stage as it was when I first joined. Like I can kind of like grow and graduate to another level, if you will,
Hmm.
of learning, like doing business where I feel like I can it just I'm still given the resources I really need and I'm learning every day. So and that's what I want. I feel like I'm still growing, so that's great.
Right. And you know what? It doesn't really matter how long you've been an agent.
Mhm.
You always feel like you're learning and you're always growing because, real estate changes every day, the market changes every day. And if you're not staying um, on top of the learning portion,
Mhm.
then you're not doing a justice to those clients, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, at least our little mini university serves its purpose of keeping us all ahead of the game, right? So you
Yes,
did mention that your brother Josh just joined, right?
you
So
did.
I know that you did a lot of talking to Josh and telling him about the office, right?
Mhm.
And that says
Mhm.
a lot because one of my questions I was going to ask you is what would you tell an agent who just passed that PSI? But you just answered it really because you just told your brother everything, right? And how you succeeded. And he has an advantage because you've already blazed that trail, right? So he can follow in those footsteps. But I know that, if your family's anything like my family, it's pretty competitive. So he's going to want to
Yeah.
do that rookie of the year plus,
Yep. Yep.
right? Yeah.
Totally, totally. I know. It'll be a healthy competition. No, I mean, that was one thing that I just laid it all out for him and said, like there's always a resource they will give you for whatever question or like
Right.
weakness, you feel you might be having or like need to get stronger at, and there's just like an overwhelming amount of like allies that you have, you've got
Mm-hmm.
your coming in with you. You can, go and shadow an open house together. There's plenty of opportunities for that. Another plus of having a lot of agents is having open house opportunities. There's multiple brokers that you can call if you want to ask them something or say, hey, can I help you with something? Same with, again, the like more experienced agents is just like it's just this whole world that you can explore and find your path in. So,
Right. Awesome. And so my last final question to you, right? I would like for you to finish this sentence.
okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because of Keller Williams Metro Center, I was able to.
Because of Keller Williams Metro Center, I was able to start my business right away. I mean, that's one thing I think I was worried about is like, I'm going to go into real estate. How long is it going to actually take, though, to start doing, doing things? Am I just going to be like learning for like 2 years, which is, again, like you said, it's always a learning process. But I didn't want to just be learning. I wanted to be doing. And I felt like I was doing immediately um, because there's so many opportunities. And, if you're unsure if there's an opportunity for something very specific, ask and chances are they'll be like, yep, there's a class on that next week.
Right.
So I feel like I was able to
Absolutely.
start doing like getting my hands dirty, or if you will, right away. And being hands-on and going out and doing those showings right away. And I loved that.
Awesome. Okay. So, Abigail, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for, because I know you're really busy,
Oh,
right?
of
You're out
course.
there
Yes.
rocking and rolling in real estate, but thank you so much. And I hope that for any agents who see this, especially the newer agents who are still deciding on where they want to go, which path is best for them, I hope that the you sharing your story will help them decide to come here because, we aim to help all agents be like Abigail. Be
Oh,
like Abigail.
honor. Thank you very much. That's very, very kind.
Especially your brother.
Yeah. Yeah, big brother. He'll love that. Be like your little sister. Yeah.
That's right. Be like your sister. Okay, so I'm going to stop this recording.